Lads, lassies, welcome back to a beautiful calm morning here in Wisconsin, and we are on the beautiful Ri237, and the point of today's video is to show you how to set this up for wakeboarding, but also kind of give you advice on setting up any Centurion or kind of nearly any boat for that matter. We're going to talk you through like weight distribution, how much weight you should put in it, and just kind of what is best for you when you're at home riding. So I've got two people helping me. I have Timmy and Zach, and we're going to basically, they're guys who work in Centurion, and Timmy's a brand ambassador too, and yeah, we're just going to talk you through how to set it up to get that juicy wake. Alright, so I'm going to overlay it, but basically over here on the right hand side, when you click the ballast button, you're given all your different options. As you can see, there are 6 tanks to fill. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fill the rear plug and play. So that is basically the bags back here. I'm actually just going to show you them, it's probably easiest. So there are 2 bags in here. And the first thing we do is we fill them the whole way up, and then we'll get on to step number 2. Okay, so they are full, so now it's time for step number 2, and Timmy is going to help us with this one because this is probably one of the key ingredients to getting that wake absolutely perfect.
Alright, what's up guys? So what we're going to do is we're going to fill both these ram fills here. We're going to hit fill on both sides. We're going to pick up speed. Left side, your port, is going to be 100%, and then your right side, your starboard, we're going to put about 85. The reason why we do that is because the prop thrust actually favors the starboard sides and puts a little bit more weight on that way. So this way you can have beautiful, equal wakes on both sides.
It's all about that symmetry, and one thing that's definitely worth mentioning is the ram fill. It's kind of like Centurion's thing, so basically the tank fills so fast, you accelerate, it opens up, it fills right up, and then boom, within like 20 seconds you're ready to ride. Okay, so a top tip there is to fill the whole way up to 100% and then empty out on the one side to the 85%. It's just going to make sure that it's absolutely perfect. But before we empty out to that 85%, I'm going to show you the wake at 100 and 100, and then we're going to empty it out and show you how it cleans it up that little bit. So yeah, as you can see, there's a big difference between the two. Now, there's 2 more things I want to talk about before we wrap up this video, or before we wrap up how to set up the Ri237. So number 1 is there is a quick launch system. So basically, this just means that the boat uses tabs to launch up really quick, so you save fuel. And what's more is when you take corners, it'll actually also give you more maneuverability, and it'll, of course, save on those fuel bills. And the second thing is these 2 tanks here. They're up the front, and now from my own personal experience, I think on any Ri boat it's best to weight it towards the back. You can put a little bit in there if you have the discretion, but my advice is if you want that perfect shape, just fill it all up at the back. Alright, and now there is one final ingredient that Timmy's going to run us through, and that is the center tab.
That's right, so we have control over how the boat pitches actually. And so because of all the weight being in the back of the boat, we're going to take this tab and actually increase it by using our stinger plate here all the way down to 40%. You can hold it actually, and you'll watch it all the way go down. And here we go, we're all set. Just kind of extends the hull a little bit, keeps that nose a little bit more down, and we're good to go.
Gives it that perfect shape. So now, although it's a little bit choppy, we're going to show you the wake as it's 100% ready for wakeboarding. I'm trying to show you the wake, but there's so many rollers. Okay, so a little bit challenging there as there's like 100 boats out on the, well, maybe not 100, but there's a lot of boats out on the water, but you get the picture. It is all about setting up that wake perfectly. Now I would say for any Ri boat, be it this one or let's say the 257, you want to focus the weight at the rear. With the 257 you can put a little bit in the center tank, but yeah, I would always say towards the rear. But Timmy is more familiar with the FI range, so you're going to talk us through kind of what you do there.
Sweet. Yeah, so for the FIs, we obviously have a different style tanks. We got one more tank in the trunk sack part, so it's a very far back point of the boat. So it puts a lot of weight in the back. So what we're able to do actually is be able to spread it all the way through the boat. So I put in my FIs, I put 100% pretty much everything, and then I take, depending on the footage of the boat, so the FI23, I'll do the 85% in the starboard tank on the ram, and the FI21, I'll do about 90 to 95 depending on what it needs. And then also, you know, if you go to the FI25, then you're going to have to go a little bit less than that, so maybe 80 to 75 on that side.
Sweet.
So.
Well, anyway, there you go. That's kind of the rough picture of how to weight your Centurions, and that was kind of our plan for this video. So thank you so much, Timmy, for all his expert knowledge. The other thing I want to say is, no matter what boat you have, you just play around with it a little bit and find out what you like, because it is, at the end of the day, all down to your discretion. You might like a steep wake, you might like a mellow wake. So yeah, play around with it, enjoy it, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.